Hello and welcome to another video here on Growing with the Roses. I am Abby Rose. This is Miri Rose. If you've been around our channel before, you know that we are a homesteading vlog that talks all about all things building up a homestead from the ground up. Miri and I right now are not at our homestead, which is in southwest Missouri. Instead, we are in the beautiful National Forest here in Colorado. We are enjoying this aspen grove. Miri loves the leaves a lot. And today what we wanted to talk to you about is traveling with a homestead. So I'm going to talk to you about why Dannon and I travel, and then also logistically, how do we travel with, animals and plants that depend on us. Let's start off with why Dannon and I travel. I wanted to focus on the reasons that also align with why we homestead. So I think traveling, especially in the way that we do, and homesteading can really go together, and I wanted to talk to you about that. So if you've watched one of my other videos, I talked about why Dannon and I chose to live the homesteading life, and I'm going to be kind of repeating those reasons here, but also kind of talking about how that relates to the way we travel. Before I talk about the reasons, I do need to mention how Dannon and I travel. There's a lot. Travel looks different for a lot of different people. For Dannon and I, we go in a fifth wheel RV and travel to different national forests normally. So we love to be in the middle of the woods. In the national forest in BLM land, you can camp different spots off the road, especially designated campsites. They do not have any water or electricity, so Dannon and I take all of that with us. But we love camping in the middle of the national forest, and that is the type of traveling I will be talking about in today's video. I'm sure the wind is making my sound not as wonderful, but it is so beautiful here. Getting to watch the aspen leaves fall around us. I love that. I love being in nature like this, and that goes along with one of the reasons we homestead. So one of the number one reasons I have started to homestead, why I went back to the country and everything, is because I think nature is healing. I think it's good for the soul, and I love being a part of it, and it helps me be more present and mindful, and I think it just fills me with gratitude. Have your back. So the beauty of nature is a big reason I homestead, why I want to grow my own plants, and why we are building our beautiful country home. And that aligns with how Dannon and I travel. So another reason Dannon and I, or another thing that we do when we travel, is because we're camping in the national forest, we have to be pretty self-reliant. We do glamp, as people would call it, so we are not tent camping, and we have a lot of resources with us, but you still have to do a lot of things that are self-reliant when you're out here in the woods, whether that be cutting your own wood and starting your own fire, cooking on top of the fire, cooking more from scratch, of course. You're not going to find a restaurant out here. And, that's one reason we love to homestead, is just doing a lot of those things ourselves and being self-reliant. Another big reason that I love to travel the way we do out here in camp has to do with my previous reason, which is the type of tasks that you do. I actually didn't talk about this before, but one reason I love homesteading is there's a lot of just like slow tasks. There's a lot of things that don't require quite as much thinking. You just kind of taking mindful, slow tasks that you could see a lot of results for. So I'm thinking like digging in the garden, watering plants, feeding animals. Those are all kind of like, they're slower tasks. Even washing dishes by hand, I don't like doing that as much, but that's a slower task. And so I feel like that you get to do that also when you're out camping the way we are. So I talked about cutting firewood in my previous reason, but that's also, it's a really fun task. You get to see the wood build up and the fire grow, and it's an enjoyable task that brings you to the present moment. So another reason we homestead and travel is for health. Homesteading, a lot of the health with that is the produce that we're raising, but also if you're taking care of animals and plants, you're going to have to be more active. And being active is one reason we love being in the national forest. we Being out here in the national forest allows us to go hike all over the place. Miri gets carried by me right now, but she will get to hike with us one day. But you know, it feels like it's good for our health to be able to be out here in the woods and breathe the fresh air and be in the moment and do a lot of exercising. So one other reason that I wanted to talk about why we homestead is for sustainability. And we're doing the best we can, and we get better every day. And with traveling, I have to mention sustainability because that's a big reason we homestead. Of course, with traveling, the travel itself isn't always sustainable. Depending on your vehicle. Ours is gas powered. We will get electric one day. We will get electric one day. But until then, we have to drive our gas-powered truck. So I'm not unaware that that isn't as sustainable. I do know that when we're out here camping, that there's limited resources. We're limited on power. We're limited on water. We're limited on food, and it does force you to be really mindful about how you're using what you have. So, in that way, it is helping us be more sustainable. I'm out here and I realize how little water I can use with all my hygiene tasks or even washing dishes. I realize, oh my goodness, there's a light on and I shut the light off. So I do think traveling helps you be more aware of how much you're using, so that you can live a life that has less consumption. And one of the final reasons I talked about why I homestead that also aligns with traveling is for family. So I think that I get to be the type of parent that I want to be when I homestead, because I'm living a slower life in nature, and it's something I can teach Miriam. And I also think that that's important with traveling, especially here in the national forest. She gets to enjoy nature. She loves these aspen leaves so much. I truthfully was worried about her choking, and so I keep watching her, but I hate to say, she gets sad when I take it away, and it's got to be as good as chewing on other things as long as I don't let her swallow it. But she loves nature, and so I think it's really, really good for our family that we travel. We also get the great privilege of traveling with his parents this time. So her Grammy and Poppy are out here with us, and that has been just wonderful. I've gotten to spend a lot of time with my mother-in-law while my father-in-law is out hunting with Dannon, and that's been wonderful. So I think there's just a lot of quality family time that gets to be had when you travel, especially here in the national forest. All right, so maybe that's given you a little bit better idea of why we travel and also how we travel, because of course our why of traveling is based on the way we do it. I want to close off the video with maybe the more important part for you, which pertains to all traveling, is logistically, how do we actually travel? With homesteading, the idea of being self-reliant means that you're doing it all yourself for the most part, or can mean that, you're trying to produce your own food and to different levels, of course. Not everybody's going to be the same, but sometimes that doesn't sound like it's conducive with traveling. So I want to tell you how that we actually made this trip happen. First, number one way we made this trip happen is, my father, we've been taking care of him, and he is making, so he was sick with a bone marrow cancer, and we were taking care of him, and he's making a recovery. He's in remission. We're so thankful. He's, still has a ways to go, but we are improving every day, and a great proof of how well he's doing is he's actually helping us take care of the animals while we are traveling. So he's feeling well enough to do the small tasks that we have associated with those animals, and he's taking care of them. So our number one way to make sure to travel is to have someone watch your animals and plants. So have someone take care of your tasks for you. And that can be, somebody you pay, it could be family, but of course you're gonna need someone to watch over the place while you're gone. Maybe you let somebody stay at the place in exchange, or like house sit in exchange for staying at your house, take care of everything. Just there's a lot of different possibilities, but have someone watch your animals so that you can travel. That's the first way. The second thing is make it as easy as possible, okay? And there's the biggest way, well, this actually, make it easy as possible covers kind of the next few things. So number two is automation. There's a lot of different products out there that make different tasks easier. So for example, and you saw this in my previous video, our kitty litter. We do not change out the kitty litter anymore. We have a machine that does it, like empties it for us, and we only have to change it out every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And so we changed it right before we left, and we don't have to worry about that. It automatically cleans. So that's an example of automation. Cow waters, like the floats, that makes it where it automatically stays full. So automation is going to really help you. So number three is going to be, when possible, use gravity feeders in water. So this is kind of like automation, but this makes it where you don't have to do a chore every single day. So if you have gravity feeder and gravity waters, you only have to do the chore, once, maybe every few weeks, or every few days or every week. But it really helps. So that also helps make it easier. And of course, the easier your chores are, the more likely you are to find somebody to do them. Number four also makes chores more easier, and that is leaving at the right time of year. So if you leave, you can see by the leaves behind us, we're in October. So the gardening is not, we don't have a big garden right now. Of course, we're still building our garden. Next year, we will probably have more of a fall garden, but spring is definitely the busy time of year for gardening. Fall is a little less busy, so that makes it a whole lot easier to be gone. If it's in the fall, as opposed to spring. Also, fall, you still have grass for cows, and there's still bugs. You're not feeding as much as winter. So fall is probably the best time of year. Summer you have to water a lot, especially in the garden, and you're busy with your garden. You need to take care of make sure that the animals run out of water quicker. So summer's not great. Spring, you're busy planting everything. Winter, you have to feed things more. So fall is really the best time of year to travel for us. And so that is the number four is right time of year. Let me think. Did I forget one? Final thing, one thing we do is we take some of our animals with us, just our dogs. But any animal that isn't home and is with you, you can take care of. So that is your bonus. Take as many animals with you as possible. Kado! Kali! Kado! Come here, babies. Come here, Kado. Come here, Kado. Oh, there's Kado. Oh, there's Kado and Kali. Hi, Kali. Oh, there's Kali. Oh. Oh. So, Anyway, they're with us. That makes it easier. Okay, so Mirybug is ready to get home. I hope this is helpful for you. Remember, homesteading can be on any level. You know, you don't have to go all in if you're gonna homestead. You can just plant some things. And so, you know, don't forget to enjoy the other areas of your life. If you enjoy traveling, if they give you some of the same fulfillment as homesteading does, you know, do both. And I hope this video has empowered you to do that. If you found anything useful in this video, please subscribe, and also leave me a comment. Let me know if I forgot anything or if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you. Yeah. Oh, Mirybug says it is time to go.